want to do a special episode today on what happens when you go to the gym or when you train. So first off, big thank you to all the sponsors, Kenzies Optics, Riton Optics, Taurus USA, and of course, Crossbreed Holsters. But I did a special on Onnit in the previous video. Make sure you check it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to share. And we still have many contests going on. But I wanted to do an extra special episode on what happens when you go to the gym or what happens when you train. A lot of people spend a lot of time messaging me or DMing me or talking to me about training and why training is important to them and why they enjoy training or why they want to get into training. I wanted to do something a little bit about the mindset of training and why training is necessary and why getting into any level of training is going to be important for you for the long run. And this is a really good episode for people considering getting into training, have gotten away from training, would like to get back into it, or have kind of been training but in a little bit of a funk. So to be clear, when you train, you feel better about yourself 100%. When you're training and you have an ongoing training regimen and you get into a routine, there is no better feeling than that. Anytime that I feel like I'm getting out of my routine or I feel like that I'm getting out of my regular scheduled program, I'm a little bit off. And I feel a little bit off. So I want to stress with you guys and I want to impart on you what happens to your brain, to your body, to every aspect of you when you get into a regular regimen of just training and the function of training. Whether you do mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, weight training, CrossFit, it doesn't matter. You're going to develop a lot stronger internal strength, mental strength from getting into a regular routine that involves you doing something that takes you out of your comfort zone or causes you to experience a breakdown in your body and then a build back up. It's only going to make you stronger, okay? There's a lot of people out there that constantly, say, I'm too tired, I don't have the energy, I'm not feeling it. We can get into all day the mindset of limiting your excuses, all those things, but I want to focus on what happens to you, okay? You not only go through a transformation, both physically and mentally, but you also go through a transformation of your body, which can sometimes be the most addicting part of it. But it's the mental one that's the most important. Okay, it's the mental feeling of being strong internally and externally that's going to have the most effect on you in the long run. So you have to really dial in what is going to be important to you very early on. A lot of people say, oh, I just want to lose 10 pounds, or I just want to lose 20 pounds, or I just want to do this, or I just want to do that. If you can dial in what's going to affect you and what's going to cause that transformation in your mindset fast, very quickly, it's going to stay with you longer. Okay? And by that I mean, don't make it just about getting the abs. Don't make it about just getting, in some type of condition. Don't make it about that. Make it about getting into a place and a state of mind that makes you stronger day in and day out. Even if you have an okay workout, it's better than having no workout at all. That has to be the mindset. Even if you have an okay workout, it's better than having no workout at all. Get in there. Get into a routine. It's the consistency over time that's going to build something. So a lot of people ask me all the time, where do I start? And I've said it over and over and over again. You start by going. You start by going. You start by taking the first step. So what happens to you after you take the second step and the third step and the fourth step is you're going to go through a mindset transformation. Okay. And I know a lot of people that do MMA and they become addicted to that, and that's good. It becomes like an addiction. People that lift weights becomes like an addiction. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing to have those outlets. Okay. And for some people, it's a different outlet. Okay. It's when you work out your brain, when you work out your problems, you go to see a therapist. Whenever you do these things, you're experiencing a massive dump of endorphins or a dump of your stresses. And it's that dumping of the stress that's going to be most important. So it's really important for me to do a deep dive into this and talk to you guys about this and get into more of the what happens to you mentally when you train and when you work out. And for many different people, the motivator, as I said earlier, is different. It's different for everybody. Focus on what is going to make you happy in the long run. And I can promise you it's going to be the consistency in the build, and not the first step, but the second, third, fourth, and fifth step. That's going to make all the difference. So I've spent a lot of time with some of the best weightlifters, trainers, instructors out there right now. And I can tell you without question, they don't spend a lot of time talking about their muscles or talking about their gains or talking about anything like that. They spend the bulk of their time talking about and getting into some of the different changes that their mental capacity's gone through. Got a couple questions that have come in. We are going to do an IG live a little later, Mark, so to answer that question. And one person said, I've always worked out. Maintaining my weight has been my goal. It's maintaining your weight, but it's also maintaining that consistency to the regimen. That's going to teach you much more about yourself and about perseverance. But I wanted to tackle this topic because I get inundated with messages from people that are like, I just want to start. And we don't spend enough time talking about, everybody seems to know that you just need to start. We don't spend a lot of time talking about the second, third, and fourth step. Okay? Establishing your routine, developing consistency, sticking with that consistency, and staying what I call obnoxiously consistent. So whether you're training at a high level or you're just doing 20 minutes of cardio to get by, you have to maintain a certain amount of discipline to the craft. So if you're doing jiu-jitsu or MMA or anything like that, it's your draw to the discipline that's going to stay with you much longer, okay, over time. And you have to be drawn to the discipline. So what happens when you work out is you're going to develop a lot of these different disciplines. Now, just like anything else in the universe, guys, there's a lot of swings in things. There's extremes in anything. So you have to balance what those extremes will be, okay? If you're going to the gym 3 times a day, but you're not focusing on your work, that's going to be a problem. When I get into a consistent routine, I feel like I gain motivation in almost all areas of my life as well. That's right, Will. That's a great one. And it's important to stress that more than, hey, I want to get abs, or hey, I want to get this. That's a very short-term motivator, and that's going to come very quickly. So, you know, to all you guys in here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to tap the thumbs up and share. But I want to make sure that you all understand that consistently developing a routine and consistently delivering on that routine, and by delivering, I mean delivering to yourself. You know, we hear the term in finance a lot, pay yourself first. Do the routine because you want to do the routine. Do the routine because the routine makes sense to you. So participate and love the discipline. Love the discipline of dieting. Love the discipline of eating quality foods. Love the discipline of training, and enjoy it and live in that space. That will stay with you far longer than abs. That will stay with you far longer than a certain physique goal. So love the discipline, and the rest will take care of itself. Love the focus, and stay in that place mentally, because it's the focus that's going to draw you to the next challenge and the next challenge in your life. Whether that's losing a job, whether that's getting a new job and having to meet new people, whether that's taking a new course or whatever it is. All those things are good things. But if you're disciplined in all aspects of your personal life, I promise you will, and everybody else in here, it's going to start and end with what you do in your training. Whether that's job training, whether that's physical training, whether that's mental training, it's going to stay with you far, far longer. So I felt like this was a topic that needed to be addressed and needed to be talked about, because I've spent a lot of time, and I take the DMs and the questions that I get very seriously, looking at all these different things. Okay. Ron says, for me, it helps maintain my personal confidence. That's a great one. Jonathan says he got a shirt. The shirts are available. They're available on the website, www.johnbartoloshow.com. Check out the shirts. I hope everybody likes them. Don't hesitate to pick one up. Some people have. There's shirts, there's hats there. They're fun. And if you want to check out the Patreon, it's down. The links are down below for everything. Don't forget to check it out. So I hope everybody understands this. And to give you a little bit about my journey, my entire life I've trained. When I was 13 years old, I used to walk to the gym in East Boston, Massachusetts, every single day. I would walk the highway. It was about a quarter mile to it was probably more like a half mile from my house. I would walk there every single day, and I would train. And then after a while, I got a job there, and I worked there for a while. And I would go in and work nights after school whenever I could, make a few bucks. And I just always loved training. And whether it was messing around, hitting a bag, doing that, later in life I discovered and briefly did things like karate and jiu-jitsu. Very briefly did karate and jiu-jitsu. And I enjoyed all those things. And got into tactical training after I graduated from the police academy, Melita 8. I really enjoyed that. So it was really important. So Dago says, how was it hanging with Jay Cutler? You learn a lot about somebody's journey by spending time with somebody like Jay. And it was great to spend time with Jay. You learn so much, especially a guy being a hometown guy. It's great to spend time with a guy like that. And I took so many little tidbits from Jay that it was very eye-opening. But I wanted to really push this on you guys about what those second, third, fourth, and fifth steps look like in your training journey, because everybody focuses on the beginning and the end. So if you do a show, it's 12 weeks out, and this is what you look like at the show. You get a lot of people that ask, where do I start, or how do I start? I want to focus more on the second, third, fourth, and fifth step, the transformation that your mind and your body goes through little by little as time goes on. And little by little as time goes on, your body will go through these mental transformations where the discipline and the focus start to become more and more important to you. And they should be. They should be. It should be like getting out of bed. That discipline and that focus. okay? And if you believe in your goal, you have to start to block everybody out. And you have to focus on your goal. You know, I can tell you unequivocally, and Dago can tell you this being from the same area. I don't know if other people grew up like this. When you grow up, you know, all your friends start by going to the gym or playing football or doing this. Then little by little, as time goes on, there's less and less people there. And you become like the last man standing. And there's a good feeling in that. And it doesn't always have to be about ripping weights like a savage. It doesn't have to always be about, you know, tearing down muscle structure and building it back up. It can be as simple as staying in that place of day in and day out discipline and focusing on, I'm going to get out of bed no matter what. And if you look at a lot of people's story, it starts with the start. But I can honestly tell all of you, I've never had a period in my life where I had to do a restart. I've had to do a refocus, but I've never had to do a restart. And that's comforting. And that's what I love, is staying in that discipline. So I can sit here all day long and say, and get Andy Frisella on you and say, stop being a bitch. And I can say this and I can say that. You know, it's not what I'm about. I just like to stay focused for the sake of me staying focused and stay in that place. So to everybody out there that has found a way to get to the gym Monday morning or found a way to do a restart for the summertime, what happens when you work out is you'll go through these periods of success, these periods of doubt, these periods of stagnation, these periods of feeling like you're not making any gains, these periods of, oh, I want to stay in the bed, or I don't want to train today. But I promise you, nobody has ever regretted getting in and getting it done. Nobody. Nobody has ever regretted a single day of putting in an hour of overtime. Nobody has ever regretted a single day of getting in the training when you didn't want to. So whether you start with a nightly walk, or you start training in the morning, or you wake up just an hour earlier. Rob says working out is the best part of his day. I just go to the gym and think about nothing and feel like a wonderful pump feeling. It's a great feeling. We can get into all day that dump of endorphins and all those things, but we're not gonna. I just want to focus on the consistency is what makes you feel good. So I definitely want to impart upon everybody, set a goal of being incredibly consistent, whether that's 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, 7 days a week, whatever it is, be incredibly consistent. And like Arnold says, if you feel like you don't have the time, just sleep faster. If you have to get up at 4 a.m., do it. If you have to get up at 5 a.m., do it. If you have to go to bed at midnight, do it. So stay in that place of what I like to call painful consistency. Be painfully consistent. So I want to take a minute. I want to thank all the sponsors: Kenzies Optics, Riton Optics, Taurus USA, Crossbreed Holsters, and of course, Canic. If you want to continue to participate in the contest, to those of you that are in here, make sure you go right after I sign off and comment and tag on a bunch of pictures. Don't forget to share and subscribe. Okay? All the contests are going on right now, and don't forget to participate. Check out the website. There are links below for the Onnit products if you want to check out Onnit Nutrition. I did a special on them the other day. If you want to check out any of the products that you see me promoting, whether it's on IG or anywhere else, check out the links below. I appreciate all you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And if you're listening on iTunes or Podbean, please leave a review. Those are greatly appreciated. But I appreciate everybody, and I thank everyone for their time, and hopefully this helped you guys out a little bit, and hopefully this made some sense. And I'll talk to you guys later on IG.